What's up, big fella? Happy New Year, guys. Hanging out in the pond with Casper here. January 1st, first of the year. Happy New Year to Casper. Oh, yeah. That's what he says about that. So, yeah, I just finished up doing my tours for the morning. Just had a couple people, 3 people in here hanging out with Casper doing the underwater gator tour. So remember, guys, you can come and swim with me and Casper, get in the water with us and do the tour. It's really, really awesome. Now, while we're in here, I had somebody ask me about how fast do alligators run and how fast do they swim and all this kind of stuff. And this is a topic that has a lot of misconceptions, and a lot of incorrect information out there as well. So when people look it up, how fast do alligators? Well, first, let's start with the practical one, the one that makes sense, okay? How fast do alligators swim? So if you look it up online, it says 20 miles per hour is how fast an alligator will swim. Now, I've never tested that myself. I don't really know, but I do know they do swim very, very quickly. My experience has taught me that. I have seen when these guys get going, I've seen them cross this pond from that end behind me to this end behind me, and like literally under 2 seconds, probably like 1.5 seconds cross the entire pond. So they are very, very fast when they want to be in the water, especially underwater too, because on the surface they're getting a little bit. They seem to go a lot faster. Sorry, just keep an eye on him. I got to watch him. But they seem like underneath the water, they do swim a lot faster than on the surface too. So they get up and they go very, very quick. Now, basically, if you're in the water and an alligator is coming after you, there's no chance of outswimming it, okay? And this is why I always tell people never, ever get in the water with an alligator, says the guy who's in the water with an alligator, right? This is a special situation, obviously, which is why we do this as a tour with a trained alligator and the person's behind a safety net and you're with an expert, me, right? So that's why that's cool to be able to do that, but never, ever get in the water with a wild alligator. You're like, yeah, but Chris, you do that. Yeah, I've been handling alligators for almost 20 years, so I do get in the water with them. It is very dangerous. And they come after me too, and it's really sketchy even with all my experience. So for the normal person, don't get in the water with an alligator. And even for people with experience, it's really dangerous to be in the water with these guys. It is no joke. And why it becomes so dangerous is his perspective. Again, come over here again. From his perspective, when he's in the water like this, his eyes are only about 1 inch or 2 above the surface of the water. And so when he's looking out at something, from his point of view, if he sees me right now just standing in the water, he only sees this part up. He can't see me underwater from that viewpoint. And so he knows it's me right now, obviously, but for a wild alligator who's not encountered people in the water before, he's going to think that you're a small animal, that you're small enough to be prey, and so they will come after you. And it's not that it's the alligator attacking a human, it's the alligator attacking what he perceives to be a small creature that he could potentially eat. So that's why it's so dangerous to be in the water with them. Not that alligators normally see people as food. We've got over 1 million gators in the state of Florida. If they wanted to eat people, you'd have people dying every day. But when you're swimming and you're in the water with them, they see you as a small creature from that point of view, and so they will come up and try to see if they can eat you, and that definitely does happen. And most of the fatalities of people being killed by an alligator happen because they were swimming with that alligator. So again, don't swim with them. But anyways, what's the big one though? Everybody asks, how fast will they chase you? Okay, and that's the biggest one we hear all the time. How fast will they chase you? And this is just like it's just like this ridiculous, stupid human obsession with being chased by things. We can blame movies for that or whatever. Or maybe it's instincts from our evolution on the savannah, who knows? But we are obsessed with being chased, and on land, being chased by things and things running after us, right? Now, in this instance, how fast will an alligator chase you? Well, when we look up how fast will an alligator run on land, it says on Google 35 miles per hour. No, BS. I call it BS. There is no way that that's real. I mean, I've worked with alligators my entire life. I have never seen one run that fast, that's for sure. The only way I can see that being a possible reality is, number one, those people are wrong. There you go. Or number two, the only way I can see that happening is if the alligator is on an incline and it's running downhill, like down a muddy hill into the water below, and because it's afraid and it's running away, and you get them on that downhill movement, and that's where you can get some good speed off of one, right? I could totally see that happening, and that's also the most likely scenario where you're gonna have one moving that fast on land. So I could see them clocking one running away when it's scared to get into the water to escape, going going pretty fast. Now, 35 miles per hour fast, yeah, I highly, highly doubt that. I'm just saying from my experience, come, Casper, come here. We'll get him back over here. I'm just saying from my experience of working with these things my entire life, I have never seen one run that fast on land. Now, either way, let's say it is real, okay? If it is real, they run 35 miles per hour on land according to Google. People read that and they read run means chase. That's incorrect, okay? Running that fast does not mean they chase that fast. Okay, and again, that's if they're running away from something. Now, here's a fun fact for you guys. Come here. So they do have a blind spot right in front of the face, straight up in front. That's why I always do this, because he can't see right in the front. Now, he knows I'm there, but they can't see right in the front. Their vision is over to the sides, and that also is giving them the ability to swing to the sides a lot better, okay? So when they actually go to grab something, if you ever notice when I go to feed them, I throw the food to the side of the face, not right in front of the face when they're in the water. That's because their side-to-side motion is so well focused, okay? And the front motion, not so much. So that's why you always see them when I go to feed them, I throw it over to the side there. Now this comes to the running a zigzag thing. People are like, oh, well, if they're chasing you, running a zigzag. That's not true. That's not real. I mean, it is a solution to a problem that doesn't exist because they're not running after you and they're not chasing you down on land. But even if they were, that's like the dumbest idea you could have, is to run zigzag. They've got a blind spot in the front. Just run straight in the blind spot. If you run zigzag, you're going to be going in and out of that range of vision to the sides, and they are so good at the side swing. And if you watch some of my videos where we have like the wild alligator and we're like, you know, touch them on the tail and they spin around, you can really see that full spin to be able to grab something on the sides. I mean, that is what they're best at, is that to the side motion. And I don't know who came up with the running a zigzag thing, but they obviously knew absolutely nothing about alligators. But then nobody's there to fact check them, and I guess nobody else ever stopped that before it kind of spread as a rumor, like, oh yeah, no, you run a zigzag, that's what you do. And I guess you sound smart saying it because other people don't know if you're right or wrong, and they're like, oh wow, man, that guy knows what he's talking about. No, it's not a real thing. Casper, come here, come tell them this craziness. It is not a real thing. Running a zigzag is just like the dumbest idea you could have with these guys. So in the basically impossible scenario where an alligator is running after you on land and you're in a full out sprint, something that's never happened to me in like 20 years of handling alligators, but let's say it did, you just run straight and you just run fast, you know? Don't worry about this zigzag or any of that kind of stuff, right? There he is underwater now. It's so cool when he goes underneath. Looks all creepy down there. This is what's actually dangerous. You know, this is how people die right here, and they're underwater like that, and you have no idea they're there, and you go jump into an area or you go swimming or something like that, and you don't know that there's an alligator down there. You know, that's where things can get very sketchy, very, very dangerous. And, you know, even for me too, like when they're underwater like this, it's much more dangerous, you know, because I can't move as fast in the water, and especially nowhere near as fast as one of them can move underneath the water. So this is a much more dangerous scenario. I mean, for me right now, I'm fine because it's Casper, you know, and I work with him and I know him and he knows me. But like when I'm out in the wild with him too, that's much more dangerous. It looks like he's gonna come back up to the surface maybe. He's on the move down there. But yeah, for me, when I'm out in the Everglades, you know, I'm out hiking or something like that, it never crosses my mind once to be worried about an alligator chasing after me. It's just not a real thing, guys. But then when I'm out there swimming, that is where it's actually dangerous, which is just ludicrous when you look on Google and you're like, oh, they can run 35 miles per hour according to Google, but they only swim 20 miles per hour according to Google. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense, guys. We got to update this information out there. It is not the correct information that's being spread out there. So we just want to get that out there, you know, and then also, you know, again, just understanding that they're not out to get you. They're not aggressive. They're not really interested in humans anyways, you know. Look at them. Look at those teeth, huh? Yeah, we just wanted to cover some of these points and educate people a little bit about these guys, and wish everybody a happy new year. Casper says happy new year right here, and hope you guys have a great year, and we'll see you on the next one.